Hello everyone and welcome to a slightly different styled video today. Today we have the first event of World Racing League here at Le Mans. So yeah, this is, well, I say a new league, it's not a new league, but it'll be my first time racing in here and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, there's 9 guys on PC, we've got 1 Xbox player and then myself as the only PlayStation player today. Feel good going into this event and I'm going to be showing you through what happened in this race, and I'm sure I can for the other ones that I participate in. So yeah, Le Mans today. I believe it's Hara the next week. Not sure if I'm racing in there yet, but we'll find out soon. But yeah, we'll cut into the gameplay in a second. To start off qualifying, which I will show you some of the highlights of my laps, and then we'll go into the race and show the final results there. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So then we're now in qualifying on our first run. Still 14 minutes 30 left on the clock, so very early on. I think there's supposed to be exit from pit lane in this session, but there actually wasn't due to a mistake from the race director. But we now start our first lap. Going through turn 2, just missing the inside curb, which I ideally would have liked to take. But unfortunately I missed it, but there you go, like turn 3 and turn 4 nailed both those curbs more or less perfectly. So yeah, good run, but a little bit of a slide there coming out of turn 5 as I think that's J. Carlisle there. I didn't quite see the name, someone crashed there in front of me on board the factory Ducati, so unfortunate there, but as we nail the inside curb there, taking all the track we can here, powering out of Museum Corner. And then into Garage Vert, we're on a 40.8, which isn't too bad. We're looking at a low 27 lap time here, which would be a really good lap early doors in this session. So now power, hit the outside curb, not ideal, but not too bad. And then we now put hard on the brakes into the show in the buff. And then out of turn 10. 1 minute 3.2, still looking strong if we can hit these curbs. As we just clip the one on the right there on the left hand of turn 11. And then not perfect on turn 12, but we still hit it, got to slow down a bit, and then we brake hard into the into penultimate corner, through a cordon one, and then power out we go, right height down, and it's power to the line, and it's a 127.2. So yeah, a very solid first run for me, and that was a great lap for me to start off the session. Nothing really happened too much in the middle of the session. Tyre Sock set the same lap time as me, and Aloe went 26 thousandths quicker than me. As you can see, Julito is actually on a lap as well right now. But yeah, this is my next good chance at a lap with still 6 minutes on the clock. I hadn't managed to improve yet, but as you can see, I'm on a fresh set of tyres. But we get the first chicane done nicely, and as you can see, we are half a tenth up on our lap time in the first sector. Still waiting for Julito to cross the line. Tyre Sock's also up on his lap here, so we're at threat as we get the inside curb there perfectly, almost 2 tenths up on our lap here. This could really put us high up as Julito goes to the top of a 27.105, which is a tenth and a half quicker, and looking at our delta, we're about the same up, so we're on course to try and take pole position, and as you can see, we're a tenth up on his time in the second sector split, so we're on for a good lap here as we now power out of Garage Vert, ride height down. And can we get the good brake in into the S's of turn 9 and 10. Hard on the brakes. Getting the first bit right and the second bit nicely done too. It's almost 2 tenths up, but we hit the outside curve. It's going to slow us down a little bit, and as you can see now, losing a slight bit of time. We're in a bit wide there as well, only a tenth and a half up. And unfortunately we clipped the inside there, and that ruins our lap, and I was quite frustrated as you can tell. But yeah, it's a tenth and a half up there. And we blew the lap, unfortunately. So, again, as you can see, Julito has improved furthermore at the front. He's now done a low 0.0, over 2 tenths in front, and it's definitely going to be a hard lap to beat now as we're on our final run of the session. This is going to be our final lap. So to find time here is going to be crucial, but unfortunately, we've ruined that last lap, which definitely could have put us to the top provisionally, but Julito improved since. But as you can see, once again, half a tenth up on our time in the first sector, but still over a tenth down on Julito in the first sector. So he must have done an absolutely incredible first sector here, which, yeah, it's it's going to be difficult to beat that. As you can see in front, I think that's Spadalonga who crashes in front there. He's down in P7 at the moment. Maybe not here where he'd want to be, but yeah, I'm sure he can prove better in the race. But now, as you can see, we're actually not up in the second sector here. We're basically matching our time, and we can beat Aloe by just improving a bit. So we're on course for second place here, but taking pole position would be quite a stretch if you go hard on the brakes. And yeah, we're nicely done. We've absolutely nailed both those curves. We've gained loads of time, and as you can see, we've gained a tenth and a half, only 37 thousandths down on Julito. We've absolutely nailed that chicane and gained so much time. And as you can see, the time we're gaining, it's going up and up and up. We're on course to beat Julito's time here. We're basically level. How well can I do the penultimate corner? A bit wide. I've missed the inside curve and I've run wide. It's cost me, but as I power out the final corner, the delta goes up to 240. We're level, but we lose time on the outside curve. But it does place us nicely into second place as we go crashing into the wall. And somehow not crashing. I don't know how I didn't crash here, but yeah, it's just a good lap. We got a 0.1, but unfortunately couldn't take pole position. But they're the final qualifying results. It's Julito on pole by 10th for a second by myself, to Danny Aloe in third, who also set a good lap. Tysox in fourth, his first lap was his only lap of the session. Flavio in fifth, Galina in sixth, Joanda in seventh, Spadalonga in eighth, Meerkat in ninth, Camille in 10th, and Jake in 11th, with all riders being within a second of each other. So yeah, I think that made the qualifying quite interesting of how close it was, but we're in a good position for the race here. We're in second place behind our teammate on pole position, who we could have beat. We know we nailed the chicane on the end of that last lap, but unfortunately a mistake in the final two corners on the outside and the inside curve just slowed us down. So then, now moving into the race, tyre choices were, in my head, varied. I know I wanted to go on the medium front tyre. As you can see, I'm checking now, and I mean, people did change, as you can see right now. There's a couple on soft, which I knew definitely was quite a risky option if you wanted to try that. But I knew I was comfortable on the medium front tyre. That's what I wanted to go with. But both rear tyres for me prior to this race did not feel great for me. The soft rear burnt out too much at the end, and I was dropping the front quite a lot. But the medium rear for me, I just wasn't getting enough pace out of. So I had to make a decision, and in the end, I've decided to pick the soft rear. So I've gone medium soft, which is the same as Julito in first. But interestingly, Danny Aloe on a medium tyre here. He's going an alternate strategy to see what he can do, and we're just going to try and get the maximum pace at the start, because I know I have the pace. If I can make a breakaway at the start or get some pace going, could be crucial. And as you can see, Flavio is also on medium as well as Camille. So 3 riders on the medium, and there's 8 on medium soft. So the majority picking what I'm choosing, but there are a couple outliers who are choosing that medium rear, and maybe they prefer it more. And it was something that I was considering, but that's what I've gone with. So it's Julito on pole, followed by myself to Danny Aloe in third. I have to see who can get the jump off the lights into turn 2, where the right light goes down from myself. Can I get a good start? It's 5 red lights. And the lights are on for a very long time there, but away we go. And look at the perfect start we've got there. I mean, we've pulled an absolutely huge gap coming off the line before we even get to the first corner. Now going through turn 2, get the right height down. We've almost hit the inside curve, but we've got a 2/10 lead here. Oh no, we've blown the corner. We've run wide. We broke too late, and we're going to have to run on the chicane and drop some positions here. That was so unfortunate after a brilliant start. As now head down into La Chapelle, going side by side with Flavio, trying to get up his inside, but then Danny Aloe comes through. He's trying to get up the inside as well. Force him right to the inside as he loses time. Now side by side into Museum Corner, but he breaks too late, and he's going to run a bit wide as Jake crashes. That crash was quite messy when watching it back, but actually you can't see from my POV. But we're in second place again after a really good start, but we really blew the corner as we now go into Garage Verde. And Julito has run wide. He's run off the track, and that's going to cost him time. So now go side by side down the straight into turn 9. Who's going to get the better? Am I going to try and brake later? We brake just after the red board, and we brake a little bit too early. We've ended up cutting the corner there just from braking a bit too early. But we're right in the back of Julito here, just trying to see if we can make a move, but we can't make it stick. So we have to settle in for second place for now and remain here. So we could have had a good lead there, but that turn 3 really messed up my start, and as you can see, Spadalonga very close behind me. I've got to be careful of him here, as he could make a move at any moment, but I'm just trying to keep tabs with my teammate to see if I can make a difference in this race. Unfortunately, I had a really bad last sector there, so I lost like 3 tenths due to some mistakes there. And Spadalonga is right behind me, only half a tenth behind me, but fortunately here I got a very good turn 3, turning in off the curb. I managed to extend a tenth away from him, even 2 tenths now looking at it. So yeah, we've just got to try and settle into this race now, and see what we can make of this. Got to try and conserve our rear tyre on the soft because it burns out quite quickly, and at the end you can face some really bad wear as you hit the inside curb at Museum Corner. Keeping a stable gap to Julito here, still only at half a second, which is what it was across the line, so we're not doing a bad job. But Spadalonga still right behind us, no one else making a move on him yet, but I can guarantee you now there's a very large train behind demanding to come through. But it's now go down the straight and the console glitch kicks in, the bike slows down. Which is something that needs to be fixed instantly. It's so frustrating, I was in such a good and commanding position. But yeah, my bike slowed down and we've now got to keep them going again. As I break into turn 11 where we've got onto the grass and the curb has just face planted us into the ground, and it's such an unfortunate crash, and it's all caused from a terrible rhythm after us getting slowed down after garage rail, which is just the game being completely weird, and it's so frustrating when these things happen to you because you're in such a good position. And then I go and pick up my 4th track limit warning just on the 2nd lap. Oh, sorry, my 3rd warning. So yeah, we're only 2 laps into the race, and I've already got 3 warnings. But Tyresox and Mick already have a long lap, so we're down in 7th place. We've had a crash, and my bike slowed down, which has been quite unfortunate, really. I mean, the crash just is just an unsettling from the bike slowing down, which is unfortunate. But we've got to keep going. We're 4 seconds behind the leader. We can still make up positions here. We're not in a terrible position, but really unfortunate there to crash in that way. But we've got to keep our head down now. We've still got another 7 laps, and as you can see, I'm making a few mistakes here. Wouldn't say I was panicking, but I just had a few problems. Let's now brake into garage there, just hitting the inside curb as we run wide again. So it's just a few mistakes. That crash has unsettled me a little bit, but we can still get right back into this race. And you can see on my delta I gained almost half a second on that straight, just because my bike didn't slow down that time randomly. Julito's got the fastest lap of a 27.7 as we cut the chicane there, completely messing it up again. And as you can notice, I mean, as Joanda goes down as well there at turn 11, just dropping the front, so easy to do. But yeah, I'm just making a few mistakes now, and only being on lap 3, I have 4 warnings already, so I cannot afford to make another mistake off the track, really, for the rest of the race. And that could really cost us. But looking on the positive side of things, Tyresox, Daniel Lowe and Meerkat all have a long lap penalty. As Meerkat goes away there, he picks up a 3-second penalty. And Flavio and Davide Galina, both behind me, also have a long lap penalty. So they've already got one. They're making a mistake again at turn 3, and I'm just making a lot of mistakes. It's quite frustrating. I'm very inconsistent in the races this year. But looking at my qualifying time, I know I had the pace for 2nd, so if I just get back into my rhythm, which I should do from this lap, hopefully we can start to gain some positions, as we're about 6 tenths behind Secret Meerkat here in P6. So we're still in P6 with a crash, which is quite impressive regardless. And we've just got to try and find the time on the riders in front here as Meerkat clips the grass there, almost crashing. Quite an interesting line. But I felt very confident around this track. As we now power out of garage. So I'm just managing the gap, just looking where I can make a move here. I couldn't really tell where Meerkat was too weak because he wasn't terrible in any section of the track, so it's going to always be difficult to get past him as I get the inside curb there very nicely, and we're now only a tenth behind him, and now we're looking for a move, and ideally it's going to be down the main straight into turn 2 is where the main opportunity lies, unless he makes a mistake. But look at this, we hug the inside curb there absolutely perfectly. We're right in the back of him. We've just got to make a move sooner rather than later, because if we want to get back to this front group, we've got to make time up. But we make a mistake out of the final corner, just hitting the outside curb, and it just slows us down a bit. So we're a bit further behind again now. We've got to look for another opportunity to find the move as Meerkat runs wide into turn 3. It's not going to set him up well as he actually cuts the corner again there. And now I'm going to try and go for a cutback move now after his mistake, trying to get side by side of him, but we just have to pull out. We hug right on the curb on the left here. Can I get the cutback again? into La Chapelle, making a slight bit of contact now on the inside curb, pulling ourselves around. And we make the move, but is he going to fight back? He's trying to hold it around the outside. And we're just going to squeeze him out, and we've taken the position off him. So a nice move there at La Chapelle, and then holding him off at Museum Corner. Now we need just over 2 seconds in front of the guys in front of me, and they're in the podium position. Just now Spadalonga has picked up a long lap penalty. So all 3 riders in 2nd, 3rd and 4th all have a long lap penalty right now. I'm 1 warning away, but as it stands, we're currently on the podium. So there's a massive shake there on the brakes. They're almost stopping, so I have to be really careful there. But as it stands, we're currently in 2nd place after a crash. So depending if they want to serve their long lap penalty, we'll have to see what happens. But so far for myself, it's looking good. I'm still in P5. I've had a crash and just trying to maintain myself as Meerkat is still right behind me. I overtook him, I wouldn't say relatively quickly, but I managed to make a move through, and I thought I could maybe pull a bit of a gap, but he's showing really good pace there, so it's difficult. As Danny Aloy then had a really big lag crash on the straight, and he rejoins the track in a really dangerous manner there, and that could have really ruined our race. And he actually crashed again, making contact with Meerkat behind me, so I was lucky to escape that. But yeah, that was it was unfortunate on his half to crash on the straight, but yeah, unfortunately he crashed again, and it's put him now down into 8th place, which is actually last in this race after Jake Camille and Kalina crashing. Sorry, my mic just cut out then. That's why it went a bit weird. But it's okay. But we carry on in this race. So we're up to P4 now, after that crash from Malo, which is highly unfortunate. We're going to hit these curbs very, very nicely. Keeping around the same gap as the guys in front of me, they're not really pulling away. And Meerkat is still just right behind us. He's holding in there. Bit wide again at the final corner, just making a few mistakes again, but and as you can see there, it seems like the last sector where I was a bit weaker. Lost 3 attempts again in the last sector, and that was where I was losing a lot of my time, to be honest. So that's something I do need to potentially fix, as you can see the 2 in front of me fighting hard. And down into La Chapelle, 10th up on our delta here, just trying to keep solid pace going, but Meerkat was not letting us pull away. He is staying within half a second of us this whole race pretty much. But we're still only in full warning, so as it stands, we're still on the podium, but we've really got to keep on the pace, because as you can see, they've now pulled the gap up to 2.7 seconds. Just after me making a few mistakes, it's costing me a little bit. But Spadalonga actually goes in for his long lap here. Can he serve it? Can't see. But actually, then Tysox crashes at garage there, and that actually promotes us up to 3rd place anyway. Spadalonga serves his long lap penalty. So we're actually in a net P3 right now, after he serves his penalty. But yeah, Tysox goes down there. I think he dropped off the edge of the curb, which caused that, which is really unfortunate. But we look at that, we nailed the curb again. Looking to gain time, but let me get some rear wheel spin, which is going to hurt us quite a lot. So now head into turn 11, and actually Spadalonga crashes as well. So it's another crash from a rider, and there's been so many crashes today, especially at turn 11, and it's been a real killer corner. And actually now Flavio is fighting with Meerkat, and we're back up to 2nd place all of a sudden by 0.8 of a second, despite a crash. So then, 2 laps to go, and at this point, I couldn't really believe what was happening. I mean, I had a really unfortunate crash and slowing down at the start of the race, but by lap 8, only 6 laps on, we've remounted back into 2nd place again, and we've almost got to 2nd. I will point out, however, look at the rear tyre. It's wearing quite a lot now, this soft rear, and it's leaving us vulnerable to the guys behind, so I've really got to be careful here. Making a couple mistakes again. This was the problem I had on the soft rear. My pace was good in areas, but there'd be other parts where I'd really struggle on the pace, and you can see with some of the rear wheels sliding out of some of the corners. And at this point, it's all about managing this P2 finish now. Where can we defend when they get closer, because they are very slowly gaining in on us. We just got to narrow our lines as we run a bit wide again, and it's just a matter of just trying to adjust my braking points. And as you can see there, we actually lost 2 tenths to 3 tenths to a second there. which could dearly hurt our race. But just a lap and a half left. What can we do? Again, didn't get the chicane too bad there, but they're still right within us. 4 tenths only. Into turn 11 we go. And our rear tyre is really not looking great now, as we just try and hang on to the position, take all the inside curve possible. And then to turn 13. Before we go into the recording one. For the penultimate time, has actually cut the inside and pick up a long lap penalty, which is horrible to start the final lap with. I only have 1 lap and I've got a long lap penalty. I am still aware that the guys behind me have long laps too. They've not served this, so all I need to do is run into this long lap penalty, complete it, and I should be fine. Let's see whether we have to come out, as I make a mistake at turn 4 anyway there, and now they're right on the back of me with just more and more mistakes creeping in as we now run wide at La Chapelle, almost trying to defend the line but just a bit too wide. So now get the cut back out, and then we get some rear wheel slide, and it's all over the place now as Tarsox goes up the inside, hits us slightly as we now try and get the cut back on him. Can we force our way back through on the exit of Museum as we try and power it out? And now all we need to do is have this long lap. Can we get it right as we go hard on the brakes? We let him through. One unfortunate way. I would have liked to finish P2 on track, but fortunately we do the long lap very well and we come out in P5, and all 3 riders ahead of us have a long lap penalty. Spadalongo doesn't, so we've still got to defend 8 tenths behind from him, but we're fine as we almost slip onto the grass there as well, which would have been really bad. And then yeah, just cutting the chicane again, just not getting the braking points right, but we've still secured this well. And just we've got to manage a few more corners now, and we will take this 2nd place in this race. It could have been on track if I didn't pick up that long lap penalty, but we're going to do it anyway. As we now head into the penultimate corner for the final time, and then through the recording one. And across the line we go now, and we will take P2 in our debut in World Racing League, which is a great result considering the circumstances, with the mistakes, with a crash, a long lap penalty, and so many things happening. But it's Julito who takes the win. I mean, a highly dominant performance by him, winning by 7 seconds on track. I mean, it was, or should I say 5 seconds. It was quite a dominant performance, but he done well, and I get 2nd place with Spadalongo in 3rd, who also pulled out a good result in the end despite qualifying lower down. I think Tarsox finishing in 4th. He'd have liked to finish on the podium, but long laps hindered him. But yeah, I think overall that was a very solid race, and I'm happy with my performance. To finish 2nd in qualifying and 2nd in the race, it's really perfect. So yeah, I was really happy with how this went in this event, and hopefully at Jerez I can maintain my same performance. So yeah, that's been this video. I hope you have all enjoyed, and let me know if you like this style video, and maybe I can do something similar again, as I really enjoyed this. So if you like this, let me know, and then I'll see you in the next one. See you later.